And we are back on the pregame with the Forbes Sports Money Report. And our focus tonight, the Chicago Cubs. Forbes national editor Michael Ozanian joins me. The Cubs are a great story this season. Haven't made the World Series since 1908. Haven't even been in it.
That's right.
Since World War II. But they're a real feel-good story. Still, though, they're for sale. Why?
Well, Sam Zell bought the Tribune Company recently, and he used a mountain of debt, Bob, to do it. So he needs to raise cash. So to raise the cash, he's going to sell the Cubs, Wrigley Field, and a 25% interest in a regional sports network. Now, I think that this franchise with those stadium and the cable network are going to go for a record amount. As you recall, the Redskins have the previous high for a U.S. sports franchise, $750 million, when Dan Snyder bought the team a few years ago. The last two baseball teams, the Nationals and the Braves, each went for $450 million. But the Cubs are a tremendous brand. They have the second highest ticket prices in baseball. They get over 3 million fans this season. And their brand value is the 5th highest in all of baseball, behind only the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, and Dodgers. So there's a lot of value there in the Cubs.
All right, so just give me a ballpark, no pun intended. What kind of price tag are we looking at here?
Well, everybody's saying 1.1 to 1.2 billion. I'm saying 1.3 billion minimum. And here's why. I think the team is worth $700 million. The stadium, $400 to $450 million. And that 25% interest, Bob, that's the key. That's what a lot of people, I think, are missing, because that stake could be worth up to $200 million. Because you've got to remember, the way revenue sharing works in baseball, $1 in revenue that you get from a cable outfit could equal $2 in revenue from your team, because there's no revenue sharing involved with your cable dollars.
But see, that's why I asked about the price tag, because at that cost, what's the return on investment?
Well, look at it this way, Bob. The Cubs were bought for $21 million in 1981 by the Tribune Company. The price has appreciated 14% per year on average since then. That's better than stocks, bonds, any other investment.
So you think there's a return there? This isn't just like a kind of a vanity play for guys that are in the bidding for
Absolutely not. This is big business. I happen to personally think Mark Cuban's going to get the winning bid. He's got the most money of the 3 groups left. His net worth is over $2 billion. And I think with a guy like Cuban, baseball wants savvy marketing guys involved now. We saw the great job that John Henry has done extending the Red Sox brand, getting involved in NASCAR and some other things. And I think a guy like Cuban has the cash that Tribune needs and has the marketing ability.
Yeah, but in the past, baseball has always been a fairly conservative sport. Cuban is that little more in-your-face, out there, yelling and screaming owner. Is that going to scare off baseball, or are they ready for that?
I think they're ready for it, because don't forget, it helps the value of all teams when you have a transaction that goes for such a huge amount. And also, there was another investor involved that recently didn't make it to the second round of bidding, who was actually friends with Selig. So I think if Selig wanted to just go with somebody he was comfortable with, they would have went with that gentleman. And I think the fact that they pushed him aside and they've left Cuban still as one of the able bidders, I think that kind of tells you what baseball is looking for.
Okay, a couple more quick questions. If they were to go on and get to the playoffs, win the World Series, how much does that increase the value of the franchise?
It helps the value a lot, Bob, mostly through sponsorships and selling merchandise and things like that. They're not going to get any more people than they have been into Wrigley Field. But in terms of their cable interests and sponsorships, it will help a lot. It's helped the Red Sox a lot. Really, they were floundering, and now they've come back up on top, only behind the Yankees and the Mets. So you really see where winning helps baseball team values.